Hello everybody, I am Josh and welcome to this Sims 4 house building video. Now today I am building a house called Modern Hue because it is modern and I thought that was a cool name. So yes, this house is a compact house and it's built on a very small lot. As you can see, it is only 20 by 15 I believe. So yeah, that was a challenge that I wanted to do, is try to build a house on a small lot. And not make it like really cramped and awful. So, you know, obviously I kind of made it very tall because that was really the only way I could add space to it, is if I went up. So it is 3 floors and it does end up having 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So, you know, it's not too big, but it's also not really small either, which is pretty nice. And it's also very modern, and as you can see here, I'm making these interesting kind of sections where the windows are going to go. So it's just 2 walls on either side, and then these kind of trellis thingies that go between them. This was actually kind of inspired by a house that James from The Sims Supply did a really long time ago. I think it was like late last year. He did a modern futuristic house where he kind of did a similar thing. Thought it looked really cool and I wanted to try it out. So I maybe overuse it a little bit, but I thought it looked really neat. And it kind of added this nice detail around the windows, so I kind of went with it. Also, I will use half walls quite a bit in this house, at least around the outside and stuff. So, because the new game update includes half walls, so that was pretty exciting. And yeah, so I'm working on the exterior color scheme. A lot of paneling. You can see there's white paneling and there's some blue paneling. But you know, it all kind of works nicely because you have a lot of texture to it. It's not like all super flat. And also these window frames, I don't even know what I want to call them, but these areas where the windows are going to go also add a little bit more depth to the house, because you know the windows look like they're kind of set in even though they're not. I thought that was pretty neat. And yeah, so here I'm putting all the windows in, and you can see how they kind of look really nice when they're nestled into those sections that I made. And yeah, so putting in some windows on the back, and there's also a little grass balcony, I guess you'd call it, off the master bedroom in the back. And yeah, so here are the half walls. You can see there's half walls in the front and the back here. These are the short ones. I think it looks really cool. It makes a very nice clean look compared to fences, because the fences in this game are not that impressive, so that was really nice to have the half walls now. And yeah, putting in the front door, the little green front door off to the side. Yeah, and you know, I think this is pretty much the outside structure finished. It all went pretty quickly. It's not like the last house where I was bumbling about having no idea what I wanted to do, so that's a good thing, I guess. And I wanted to fit a tree there in that nook, but no tree would fit properly without clipping through the walls, so that didn't happen. Also, just finishing up the windows, and I believe that is the structure done. Of course, adding in some doors to the balconies, because that's always a nice feature. And yeah, putting in the interior. So the inside has this interesting room there I just sectioned off, which is going to be kind of like an indoor garden, greenhouse type thing, hence all the windows. I just put some grass and plants in there, and also some planter boxes too. I thought it'd be a really neat thing. Also, you use some stacked stairs here to get from the 2nd to 3rd floor because it uses up a lot less space. The only thing is I'm not 100% sure if they're usable. I'm pretty sure they are, but I don't know 100%. But it should be fine. Also here, messing around with the roofs, I had to add this little bump out for the stairs to get to the 3rd floor, so I ended up doing is adding some more half walls and putting some plants up there. Not those, but it's like that, yeah, that tree there I put on the top. I thought it was kind of an interesting touch to the house, you know? Also some flowers up on the top there too. Not that you can really see them, but it's just kind of a cool addition. Yeah, so this first floor area here where I'm putting we're putting the fireplace upstairs. That's going to be kind of a office area. And below that is going to be the living room. Putting a chimney on the roof for the fireplace. This is the 3rd floor. There's only 1 bedroom and bathroom on the 3rd floor. And the master bedroom and bathroom on the 2nd floor. So here we're starting on the kitchen, which is kind of weirdly placed because it's like right at the front door, but there really wasn't another place to put it, so it works fine. It's a pretty decently sized kitchen here. You can see quite large, a lot of counter space and cabinets, so that's pretty nice. But the dining room is kind of small because it is in the kitchen, because there was no space for a separate dining room. but you know, it looks pretty nice. You can see going with a very modern color scheme, just white, gray, and I also put some accents of blue in. Getting in the lighting, I really like those pendant lights because you can kind of angle them away from each other, like in a way. So I don't know, like I don't know how to describe it. The bottoms of them, like you can see, have like angles on them, so they kind of work well if you put two of them next to each other. But never mind, that's not very important. Also, there's a lot of brick on the walls, as you can see in the living room. I also use it in the master bedroom too, because it kind of made a really cool industrial look. I don't know, it just looked kind of modern and different. This is the greenhouse type room, so you can see there's planters there, and also a little bit of grass with some plants in here. I just thought it was a kind of a neat area, and also for some reason that fern is kind of glowing. No idea why. I guess because placing it inside makes it want to glow. But yeah, also putting a back door in, which is convenient, and also there's going to be a nice back patio as well. So that's where that's going to go. I'm putting it in there. Also a front walkway and a little fountain, or I guess it's a fountain out the front, which is a nice touch. And putting in some details into the kitchen just to make it look a bit nicer. A plant and some other things like that. Also a little rack of mugs, which is kind of a nice touch, I guess. And wanted to put a vent hood, or a stove hood, whatever you call it, but it just wouldn't fit with the window there, so I ended up going with a blind, or a shade, and a little trash can, and I think that's the kitchen almost done. I kind of was not too happy with that space between the island and that door to the greenhouse, because it just looked empty, but there isn't really anything I could do with it. But yeah, this is the dining room area, which you can see is very small, just kind of part of the kitchen. I used my favorite chairs here because they're so cool. I don't know why. This is so nice, having like those little cupped clear chairs. Yeah, so I paired those with a glass table, so it kind of went together nicely. Also putting some mats in the kitchen to finish it off, and a little mirror for whatever reason. I don't know why you need a mirror in the kitchen, but you know, why not? Yeah, and that's the kitchen and dining area finished, and this is going to be the living room here. So it's a pretty large living room. You can see it's very long and narrow, which made it slightly challenging, but you know, it turned out alright. So we have the TV, a lot of seating actually. There's I don't know how many people can fit on that couch. I'm pretty sure you can fit 3 Sims on there, but I could be wrong about that, because I'm pretty sure there's a smaller version of the couch. So pretty large couch, and also there's going to be 3 chairs, as you can see here. So a lot of chairs as well. So definitely plenty of seating for the living room. And also in the other part of the living room that's currently unfurnished, I am going to put a chess table, so your Sims can build their logic skill. There's also, is logic skill even a skill in The Sims 4? I don't even know. I don't play the game enough to know that, but I know it was a skill in The Sims 3. But anyway, it's also an art easel by the TV, so your Sims can paint, they can practice their painting skills, so, you know, that's nice to have. There's the chess set. And also I use this pop art on the wall. So there's some sloths and some llamas. I'm pretty sure those are sloths. That's what they look like, so that's pretty neat. And yeah, so this landing up here, and also this room here with a lot of brick in it, are going to be the master bedroom and the office area. So a lot of brick on the second floor, but you know, I thought it looked really cool because it kind of carried through from outside. So that was kind of what I was going with. This is the kind of office area. So you can see we have a fireplace. There's also a lot of bookshelves here, and a desk for a computer, of course. Yeah, so this is kind of a cozy room, obviously, because you need a computer somewhere in the house, so this is a good spot. You know, a little clock on the wall. I never used clocks in the game, but there you go. A yellow couch, which I later changed because I decided yellow was a bad choice for a couch color, especially because I put an orange rug in later, and that just really clashed badly. So yeah, the yellow couch does change, but there's a bunch of details and stuff. There's the orange rug, there the couch changes to white. And you know, you have a nice fireplace here, which I do put some shelving around, which is pretty nice. As you can see, I'll put a bunch of objects on it. But yeah, so there's some stuff to go on top of the fireplace, and here I'm finding the shelves. So there's some floating shelves to go on either side of the fireplace there. I really wish those shelves came in black or white, but they don't. They just come in wood colors, which is kind of annoying. But it's okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of objects on them, which is a nice, nice little decorative spot of the room. I mean, like, you can't use any of them, but they look nice. And yeah, coming into the master bedroom here, which is pretty much the same size as the living room, I'm pretty sure. So it's kind of like the long and narrow type room. But you know, it's a pretty nice room. I really like the gray brick on the wall. I actually think it looks really cool. It kind of gives it an industrial feel. So I really like the look of that. So like the color scheme in here is pretty much white, gray, and blue. So you can see there's that blue mirror, which I thought was pretty neat, and also a bunch of gray furniture. Like there's gray accents on all the furniture, like the bed and the dresser there. You can see there's a gray front on it. I just thought it really looked kind of elegant and sophisticated. I really liked it. Also, I got a nice painting there and a bunch of details, of course, because I really like details. That's like the most important thing, is making stuff look cluttered, because clutter is realistic. So, you know, gotta put a bunch of those clutter items in, and also some dirty clothes on the floor. And this is the master bathroom, which is quite compact, but I didn't really have any space to squeeze in a huge bathroom, so, you know, you got the tub, shower, toilet, sink, everything you need. Not as much detail as I would have liked, but I put in what I could fit. So, you know, there you go. A pretty simple master bathroom. I also put some curtains on the windows, because those are very large windows for a bathroom, so you want to have a bit of privacy. And yeah, now we're moving on to the third floor. So this is the third floor landing, where I just put a little sitting area with some cream colored chairs, you know, so your Sims can just relax for whatever reason in the landing, but why not? And also some curtains on the windows and a little rug. Yeah, so that's the landing pretty much finished. Also some more pop art too, that's pretty neat. And up on the third floor we have a second bathroom, so you know, if there's multiple Sims that need to go to the bathroom at once, that need is taken care of. So this bathroom doesn't have a tub like the master bathroom, but it does have a shower, which I guess is kind of necessary. And there's a red, white, and blue color scheme in here, which is kind of interesting. You got that blue rug with the red towels, and everything else is pretty much white, which looks a little it looks a little sterile, but I guess that's okay. Also a mirror there. And yeah, now we're moving on to the kids' bedroom, or you guys, if you download the house, you can make it whatever kind of room you want it to be. But it's a pretty generic kids' room. We have a bed, dresser, and this like a computer and a bunch of toys and stuff. So yeah, you know, it's not too over the top, but you have a dresser. There's a little chair with a lamp there. Here's the desk area. We also got some shelves over the desk, and also there we go, another one of my favorite chairs, and the computer. Just a bunch of clutter items, that anything that would kind of make sense I kind of threw into this room. So, you know, some CDs, tissue box, some books, you know, whatever. I don't even know, some toys. There's a little rhinoceros on the shelf, some sports equipment, and some awards too. I thought those were really cool. I don't think I've used those before. They have little award ribbons. And yeah, so that's pretty much this room. I mean, I think I put in, I don't know if I put in posters, because I don't think I have enough room for them, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, so that's pretty much the kids' room finished up there. And yeah, now we're moving on to landscaping, landscaping. So I was putting in some trees. I really like the bamboo and just a bunch of flowers and stuff like that. You know, it looks really quite nice. The landscaping on this house is pretty simple and brief, as you can see. I didn't really go over the top with it, but I kind of wanted the house to speak for itself, kind of, and not be covered in a bunch of shrubbery and stuff. So, you know, just some pretty basic flowers and some bushes down the side. You know, I just wanted to look kind of nice and sophisticated, you know? So just some simple landscaping. I'm pretty sure that's all the plants I put in. Also on our tree. For some reason, all the rotations on the trees were off. Like I was trying to rotate it and it would just fly all over the place. Don't know what was up with that, but not a huge deal. Also putting in some dirt, terrain paint, of course. That's standard. Makes things look quite a bit nicer. And yeah, that's pretty much the landscaping finished. I mean, we're almost finished here. I was going to add in some nice details, like this little balcony off the master bedroom, where we have some plants and some chairs. You know, a nice little area for your Sims to sit around and just vegetate. And a little bird bath. I use that bird bath in almost all my houses. It's like one of my favorite outdoor decorative items. Yeah, but anyway, we're adding in some outdoor furniture here, which looks pretty nice, and some outdoor lighting. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this house building video. If you did, check out my channel for a lot more videos like this. And yeah, also there's a download link in the description below, so if you're interested in downloading the house, you can do so there. Anyway, have a good rest of your day.